We're back with another Age Mythology recorded game, or live game, from the point of view of the players. This is Mr. versus Magic upper bracket, or it's the upper bracket final of the EGC Genesis tournament. This is game number 4. I said I was going to watch this from Magic's perspective, but it is Frey versus Thor, and I just really wanted to watch the Frey perspective. We watched a game on this map with Kavoth versus somebody that played Frey, and they played that one really well. The Frey player, so I just wanted to watch him play this one because this is Watering Hole. It's quite a defensive map, and Thor will naturally have more eco right at the beginning because he has access to that Dwarven Armory. And do I want to swap these over? Maybe we want our guy on the right because it's kind of on the right hand side. Not really. We're just going to put him on. We're going to put him on the left. I'm going to put him on the right. Screw it. So we're just doing we're going through the middle, trying to find some of the goats, seeing what's on the middle, seeing how the town centers have spawned. I mean, you're not likely to want to go for some kind of forward town center anyway, but it is just a good option to have. You've seen this town center down here. One thing you can do going up through Frey and picking Ula is you can get access to the Asgardian Bastion, which is a hill fort, frosty hill fort you can get in the classical age. It's a good idea to put that potentially around here to defend your settlement. There isn't a gold mine on it though, which is unfortunate. So we're seeing the Berserk running around here. That's more than likely his second town center. There might be one up here, which will be Magic's second town center. But he's coming back. Where did he decide to drop his house? He hasn't dropped a house yet because I put him on the left hand. I put him on the right hand side. I'm going to move him to the left. I apologize if this is confusing. But I realized that I want him on the left hand side. Screw it. If anyone knows of the best position to put them in when they're kind of like this, then let me know and I'll do whatever anyone wants. But I realized that he hasn't got his house down. He's putting his house down right at the end, right on 15 out of 15 population, getting the optimal amount of scouting in to then drop his town center straight away. What a play. So he's also got pickaxe really early, which is something that you can do as Frey. So even though the enemy player Magic will be getting more villagers out, you can see that he's going to have 16 out of 14, 16 to 14 there, just because he's got 2 armory upgrades out. The early pickaxe, the early hand axe that will be coming out as soon as he's going to the next stage will be definitely worth it. So probably going to get, is he going to advance after this villager? More than likely. Also getting husbandry out. Just going for a 4:15 advance time. Going to go through Ula. So this is getting the Asgardian Bastion out whenever he needs it. As soon as he's got enough food for a hearse, he's going to grab one of those out to build up his early buildings. So what you can do, I mean, you can go for a naked second town center if you really want to. There's nothing that the Thor player is going to really do because he's spent all those extra resources getting his like random upgrades out. So you can go and you can put some early pressure on if you want to go through Freya, but he's not doing that. But maybe he just wants to... he could also just want to get some raiding cavalry out, put some early pressure on anyway, if he really wants to. It's just a good idea to get some Hersa out for those Valkyries that you would assume are coming, and to build up your early longhouses and things like that. Villager split, he's got 4 on the gold. 4 on gold normally means you're not going for a town centre. If he was doing that, he'd bring in a couple of these over to go on the gold mine, or he would have just got out more dwarves early on. You can see he's already queued 2 extra dwarves to come over here, so no second town center, at least very early. Moving over to these huntables though, and then later on when he can get some map pressure to get all of this hunt. These are 500 each, so there's so much. There's 3,000 sitting just there, which is pretty ridiculous. Norse don't really have the best scouting early on. It's unfortunately going to catch that Valkyrie. Magic didn't notice, so luckily for the Mr. he's going to be getting away with that. The Valkyrie's just beelining straight for the economy. Should we see any units actually coming out? The Draugr coming to scout. This guy with the long name coming to scout. Asgardian Hillfort being dropped down. He did see that the Valkyrie was coming around, but he's going to have to run all the way around here. If he wanted to, he could do the middle part of the wall to make sure the Valkyrie's definitely not getting in. So this is the closed off variant. So the Valkyrie can't even run around this way, and this is just super free. Oseberg Wagon is faster caravans and cheaper caravans. Really good for a game like this that will potentially go late game. Also putting a house on the settlement, just seeing if Magic wants to go to town center, or at least his back town centre there. Just one unit on the hill fort, playing this one really, really slowly. He knows he's not under any immediate pressure. It's only the Valkyrie, one Herser. Mr. Olafar Tree Fella is going to be able to deal with that one nice and easy. And even Cheeky Walls coming up to protect himself on these chickens when he wants to go for them a little bit later. Starting to get some dwarfs out. The thing is, you kind of float gold when you play Frey normally, so it's a good idea just to get some extra dwarves to put on wood. When you're going to need them later, you can transfer them back over to the gold. And as always, perfect positioning on his heroes. That's just something that the Mister does really well. If there's one myth unit coming to raid, he's really good at putting the Hersers in the right place, or whatever heroes he's got in the right place to stop those myth unit raids. Even pulling one off of this wall here to make sure that the Valkyrie doesn't cause any problems. So he's seeing that there's a town centre over here, so he's deciding to go for his town centre as well. And the ultra late game, you would assume, would be better for the Frey player. Or like so the mid-late game, you would assume would be better for the Frey player, because he's going to get access to all of the cheaper upgrades. He has cheaper upgrades that take longer to come through. Like this is only 75 wood, 25 gold, but it takes longer than normal watchtowers. Whereas Thor, you would assume, would be better in the ultra-late game, because he has, well, basically when eco no longer matters, if it's an even game, because he has extra armory upgrades. He has an extra line of armory upgrades over Frey. But Frey does have that extra... we're not even going to be able to look. He has Frey's gift, which is, I believe, 10% extra health on each unit. Got some Herdmen out. Herdmen are good for any raids that are coming in. And Ursa whacking that Valkyrie. Valkyrie will be either going down or just being chased around and not being able to get out. It'll be very difficult for him to get out. I imagine all the upgrades are in. Yeah, every upgrade in except the farming one. Don't need farms for a while. He's got all of these, all this food. This is such a good defensive map for Frey, which is why he's barely spent anything. Unfortunately, this was actually doing the job of a wall anyway. Unfortunately not. Took those out slightly too early, but shouldn't lose any HP, or shouldn't lose any of them, just some HP on them. Herdmen coming over with their 4 times multiplier against Raiders, and they will be gone. Only 4 damage a second, but 16 when you use the multipliers. Down goes the Valkyrie. So you're going to do a little forest fire before he goes. Going to get caught out by this wall as well. So down goes the Valkyrie. So you've seen that the Thor player, I don't know when he spotted this, I wasn't paying attention, but the Thor player is going for a 3 town centre play. So we'll have the eco boost, or the eco lead over the Mister. It's also getting the Draugr upgrade. Now, does this do anything else? Draugr to Renovant Draugr. Because I see a lot of people getting this upgrade, they're not building Draugrs. I was just seeing if it was something like the Automaton upgrade that gives everything extra pierce armor, but that isn't the case. House over here in case... there was probably a house on that one. And actually, that was cancelled by Magic. He cancelled one in the last game as well. Lots of mind games going on from Magic here. He did that in the last game where he cancelled one of his forward or his second town centres, which was a really nice play, actually. Great Halls coming up. We've got Long Houses. We've got Great Halls. We've got 2 of each. So we can go for some kind of even comp, throwing Axemen, or lots of Herdmen, or going into Raiders of his own. Also deciding to go through A gear. A gear is gives you the big circle of frost type things. It's called Tempest, and it can really sway a fight if you want to go for that. Also pre-queuing some of the techs from the next stage, because they take so long to do. He wants to get them out as soon as possible. They're going to take almost 2 minutes to come in, 1 minute 40 to come in, so he wants to get those up as soon as possible. And when he's got a lot of these upgrades in, that's when he's going to want to just hit the gas pedal later on and just go for really good house positioning here. The reason that these are here is if there's a dock that's going to come out with some kind of cheeky transport ship or something, the houses are to see it coming. Might even drop his own dock. Maybe that's what this guy is doing. Seeing if he can walk through it maybe. But a dock might be coming out too. Forest fire to stop the rhinoceros from being grabbed. He can just jump into the tower. Not an issue. Unfortunately, this one gets caught. No, absolutely fine. Doesn't have any way to heal them up just yet. I think Ula can get something to heal up with town centers, but it's a really weak technology. Houses coming up, but the raiding cavalry decide to run away anyway. That is Tempest through at the same time that Skadi is through for magic as well. So they are very, very even. Second gold mine here, next gold mine here, not a problem. Fine for gold for a while. Then he can decide to push out after that gold mine, or just before it's finished, or he can even just start to go in for trade with that really nice trade relic that he's found over here. But this one, it's going to be probably the next port of call for him. Also, be good to get some vision up on these settlements to make sure that they're not being grabbed. All the upgrades come in. Crenellations, better damage for towers against cavalry, bronze armor, heavy cavalry, sharp mine bowsaw, bronze weapons, as we saw earlier, but they just take so damn long. We're just sitting back. Raiders coming to have a look. That's what you want to use your raiders for. The enemy raiders do have that upgrade, Thundering Hooves, so they are quicker, 6.6 speed to 6 speed, but they really shouldn't get caught out too badly. Villagers here makes me think that town centre might have gone up, or its potential to go up, and that's what Mr. might be checking out now. Does have his heavy cavalry and Draugr coming in. I think Draugr are underrated. I think they're very, very strong. They don't get built very often though, but with their pierce damage too, where they pierce through everything, very, very strong. Just going to do a bit of ring around the rosy here, distracting the unit so he can go in. Check this one. No, this is absolutely fine. This gold mine is going to get secured. Longhouse down. He can drop a hill fort down here or get the upgrade to make this Asgardian Bastion a little bit cheaper for himself. Also a good option. Yeah, Raiders coming to have a look, and there is the third town centre up, which we thought as well, and if we thought it, I'm sure the Mr. thought it. Coming up to see here, see if he can get a little two-horse raid, something that the Mr. does really well with these cheeky little raids. But actually he's running through. Is he seeing if they're getting that gold mine, or he wants to sneak this up into the corner for later? Maybe that's what he's doing. Anyway, we should be looking at the action. This guy's just going to be hanging out for later for some line of sight later on. Really nice. Gotta love it. Just going around checking the gold mines. He'll want to look at all the rest of this bit that he's not seen, but it's just nice to assume. You can assume that he's probably seen all the gold mines. Really big fight here. More Draugrs coming through. He's got 2 Draugrs with the upgrade. He wants to get his settlement. He can force the enemy across. Now, I'm not sure what the best way to use Tempest is in regards to Frost. I assume you want to save your Tempest till after the Frost, because if you use Tempest, the enemy uses Frost. They're kind of going to cancel each other out, but actually he's using it just to go for the town centre, or maybe just to force the Frost out. Maybe he knew he wanted to force the Frost. But this is what we're saying, so Tempest lasts so much less time than Frost. But you are doing damage to the units, whereas Frost, when you use one-to-one, the Tempest player is going to get more value. Even does a decent damage to buildings. Did not know that. Magic coming in a little bit too soon, but wants to get the damage done. Look at this Draugr. Needs to get more Draugrs out. We just want to see mass Draugrs. I mean, they are basically just the Norse answer to Wadgets, aren't they? And, you know, Mr. likes his Wadgets. 12 seconds left on the Frost. These units will not go down, but they will go down when the Frost is done. Gull Bursty coming in the base. I assume he wanted this town centre so he could get Gull Bursty in. But Gull Bursty coming for as soon as the Frost is over, because he wants to push the units away. Huge taunt from that Rock Giant. All of these guys are attacking the Rock Giant rather than attacking their counter and their heavy throwing axemen. And this is when the Mister can just push forward and absolutely just dominate this fight. He did lose some resources for the settlement, but he hard won that fight, so I think that's probably worth it. Gull Bursty down though, and that is one of the best god powers in the entire game, to be honest, that is down. He may look a bit pathetic now, but it's because the further he moves away from the town centre it was cast on, the slower he is. He realises that this fight is one that's really good for him, with his loads of Draugr. 6 Draugr. Here we go, 6 Draugr, 30 throwing axemen. If he uses that, if he can move forward, use that, they all get hit by the piercing arrows, do so much damage. He doesn't need any heroes, because these guys have 2 times damage versus the Frost Giants, plus 2.8 divine damage to go against them as well. Throwing Axeman against Throwing Axeman fight. Not sure where the Goldie land into this. They're obviously good against the Draugrs. Few Draugrs down, but he still has 4 left, and the Frost Giants are not long for this world. The thing is, though, Magic does have the defender's advantage for this, so I think the Mister's going to need to run away. And the one issue with Draugrs, the same as Wadgets, is they're slow, so he's not going to be able to get out with that one, especially with that amount of Goldie. So I think there was a ship there, so he has seen that there is a dock. Going to probably want to get his own dock out to get the Kraken to just take down that dock. You get a free Kraken when you drop one down, so why not? More Draugrs coming out, so he's not been shying away from those. He knows that he wants those. He's 1 town center down, so population wise is going to be better for Magic, unless he's got there's no fortified town centers for the Mister. Something that you can do is if you're 3 town centers to 2 or 2 town centers to 3 even, you can get fortified town centers, and you basically have a similar population count. We are getting to that point in the game where it's basically 100 villagers each, so getting that 3rd town center just for villager production isn't as worth it, unless you're expecting to be raided. What do we see in the queue? More Draugrs, fortified town centers, as we said, but he's also wanting to get the settlement out. Nice little potential raid here. What Magic must have done is transferred some of those dwarves into berserks, and that's basically just killing off the units for him. So four raiders got rid of all those dwarves to stop gathering. How many Draugrs does he have now? He's got 5 Draugrs again against all of those frost giants, the upgraded frost giants, so they use their special more often and have more HP, I believe. Yeah, 798. Nice little raid here, though. What the Mister needs to do is transfer some of these into berserks to attack Magic's raid. I don't even think he's actually noticed this yet. Yeah, yes, he has now. That was a really nice raid by Magic there. Little raid on the top where the Dwarven Gold Mine is. That is the first Dwarven Gold Mine, because it costs 50 to reuse, then additional 50 each time. But a really, really nice raid, actually, from Magic there to get it down to 69 units there. What are we? 5 Draugrs. Getting that phrased gift unit HP up by 10%. Also Vidar on the way. Look at all that damage just piercing through. Just needs to use the pierce damage and then maybe just run away. That's it. Exactly what he's doing. Getting the Goldie to run backwards. Need to get those raiding cavalry onto all these Goldie. There's so many of them. Was there 9? 9 against the 4. There's only 4 Draugrs left. Really nice comp, actually, for that Magic has managed to get here against the heavy myth units of the Draugrs here. Magic's missed us back down to the bottom gold mine, which is nice. Fimbulwinter coming through from Magic, which is absolutely huge. And that is Magic winning again. Unfortunately, we keep watching the wrong person that is winning this game. There's a really nice play from Magic, though. He seems to be deleting these town centers, kind of baiting of what he's actually doing. And this is so good for tournament play to get these mind games in. One of the longer-ish games, we can see what the military resource value is. So Mister had more resource value because he had those really strong myth units, but with the Goldie managing to snipe those down, and that's where the Mister fell there. We will be watching the last one. We'll just see what the matchup is. Maybe we'll watch Magic, but we will see. And if you want to see this whole game or this whole series, it's on EGC TV, and I'll see you in the next one.